In the core of a clamoring city, a solitary choice by Marcus Aurelius from a while back actually repeats the significant effect of unemotional thinking on our lives today. This old insight educates us not simply to get through life's storms but to invite them, realizing they refine us like the breeze chiseling stone. Apathy isn't just about bearing difficulties, it's about changing them into strength. Today, we plunge deep into how embracing apathetic standards can alter your everyday routine, turning what we frequently excuse as everyday struggles into solid examples of flexibility and concentration. Join me as we explore how these timeless methodologies can assist you in leading a more deliberate and effective life. If you find this exploration into emotionlessness compelling, make sure to subscribe and watch the whole video. As someone who stands apart from the crowd, view yourself as an exception. This video is produced with your special viewpoint in mind. Why laziness isn't what you think. Frequently, we label ourselves as lazy. Naturally, this name, believe it or not, isn't simply an erroneous self-talk, it's an inevitable outcome. Emotionlessness, a way of thinking deeply rooted in the mastery of self through rationale and reason, shows us an alternate way. Stoics like Marcus Aurelius accepted that we are not limited by our underlying emotions or profound reactions. Instead, they advocated for stopping and testing our immediate insights, asking us to look beyond them to our true capacity for level-headed and tempered action. Here is the twist: when you call yourself lethargic, you're essentially stepping into a story that you've created based on previous experiences and cultural labels. However, what apathy suggests is quite revolutionary. Our real essence isn't innately flawed by apathy, rather, lethargy is often a mistaken understanding of our unexamined life habits or unrestrained emotions. For example, assuming that you find it hard to get up and run each day, is it really laziness, or is it perhaps an absence of motivation fueled by deeper, neglected fears or a misalignment of your goals with your true interests? By embracing an indifferent methodology, you start to consider these labels as external, not internal to your identity. This shift is essential as it moves you from a place of self-judgment to one of awareness. It urges you to inquire, why do I feel this way, as opposed to surrendering to, this is just the way that I am. This inquiry isn't about finding excuses but about revealing true barriers that you can then approach reasonably and systematically. So, the next time you find yourself slipping into the "I'm just lazy" narrative, pause for a moment to channel your inner unemotional self. Ponder what Marcus Aurelius would do. He would probably suggest that you examine the assumption, investigate its origins, and assess its validity. He would remind you that your actions define you, not your fleeting thoughts or feelings. As you practice this, you'll discover that what you once labeled as laziness could actually be a complex web of challenges that are not only understandable but addressable. Addressing them doesn't just dispel the illusion of your laziness, it changes how you might interpret yourself and your capabilities, showing you a path to genuine personal growth and purposeful action. Digging deeper into what drives apathy and unpacking why we fall into patterns of apathy can be enlightening. Emotionlessness gives us a solid framework to explore these underlying issues. The indifferent philosophers like Seneca and Epictetus taught that our external behaviors stem from internal beliefs and choices. So, when we exhibit laziness, stripping back the layers is crucial, examining the psychological and personal underpinnings that drive this behavior. Laziness isn't just about an absence of movement, it's often a symptom of deeper issues like fear, uncertainty, or even a misalignment between our goals and our true selves. For example, consider someone who procrastinates on starting a new project. On the surface, it could seem like laziness, but delving deeper, it could be fear of failure, fear of judgment, or even a lack of interest in the task at hand. The Stoics would argue that each of these stems from mistaken beliefs that can be examined and corrected through reason and reflection. In indifferent thought, understanding the underlying drivers of our actions involves the discipline of consent, recognizing and consenting only to choices that are true and dismissing those that are false. This practice is essential because it helps us to stop reacting to life passively and start responding with intention and wisdom. By questioning our immediate reactions and the beliefs that underlie them, we can begin to see which of our motivations are driven by unwarranted fears or misplaced desires. The Stoics emphasize the importance of aligning our actions with our values, a concept known as living according to nature. In this context, nature refers not just to the natural world but to our true essence as rational and social beings. When we understand the underlying drivers of our laziness, we can better align our actions with our true essence. For example, if a misalignment between our vocation and our passion is making us lethargic, recognizing this can prompt us to seek work that is more fulfilling or to find meaning in our current role. By applying indifferent principles, we change how we might interpret laziness from a personal flaw to a solvable challenge. This approach not only provides clarity but also empowers us to make meaningful changes. It encourages us not to feel ashamed of our laziness but to examine it, embrace it, and ultimately overcome it through thoughtful action and self-reflection. This isn't about punishing ourselves but about freeing ourselves to live more fully engaged with the world in a way that reflects our deepest values and aspirations. The Stoics, particularly Epictetus, believed that embracing our role in the universe and aligning our actions with this understanding is essential for living a fulfilling life. This principle isn't just about finding what we love but also about recognizing our duties and obligations to ourselves and others. When it comes to combating laziness, rediscovering direction means asking ourselves some tough questions. What are we meant to do? Are our current actions truly reflective of our deepest values and abilities? Laziness often creeps in when there's a misalignment between our daily activities and our larger life goals. If we're not engaged, or if our work feels meaningless, laziness takes over. The remedy involves a thoughtful examination of our life's purpose. This isn't about self-indulgent revelations overnight, it's about small, consistent reflections on what makes us feel most alive and most in line with our inner essence or divine spark, an idea from Stoicism that refers to one's true soul or divine nature. It's about evaluating our lives in a way that goes beyond shallow desires or societal expectations, diving deep into what truly contributes to our personal and public welfare. Imagine the power of waking up every day with a clear sense of purpose, how it would dissolve the so-called laziness by aligning your actions to your true essence. Apathy teaches us to focus on what's in our control. While we can't necessarily control the outcomes, we have some control over our intentions and efforts. Redirecting our life's direction could mean changing careers, starting a new hobby, or simply shifting our mindset toward the tasks we already have. Rediscovering our direction involves embracing the Stoic practice of premeditatio malorum, or the anticipation of disasters. This involves anticipating potential obstacles and mentally preparing for them. By doing this, we're less likely to be thrown off course by unexpected challenges and more likely to stay engaged and motivated even when the road gets tough. What direction do you think your life should take? How could aligning your daily actions with this direction change your perception of laziness? These are not just philosophical musings but practical questions that, when answered, can propel you from inactivity to passion, from inertia to inspired action. By redefining our goals and aligning them with our true essence, we harness the Stoic ability to not just dream about a better life but to actively create it. According to Stoicism, the true worth of our work isn't determined by external rewards or recognition but by how well it aligns with our virtues and principles. Marcus Aurelius often spoke of doing work that is good and just, emphasizing the importance of seeing value in actions that contribute to the welfare of all and uphold one's own integrity. In practical terms, valuing your work means looking beyond the surface tasks and finding the deeper meaning in what you practice every day. For example, if you're a teacher, the value of your work isn't just in delivering lessons but in shaping young minds and inspiring the future. If you work in a corporate setting, it's not just about hitting targets but also about fostering teamwork, contributing positively to the workplace culture, and developing your professional skills. The Stoic practice of reflecting on one's work is also crucial. This can be done through journaling, a method embraced by many Stoics, including Marcus Aurelius, whose writings in Meditations serve as a valuable example of personal reflection. Through journaling, you can explore the reasons for your actions, the impact of your work, and how it contributes to your personal and professional growth. Recording the why behind your actions reinforces the value of your work and embeds it more deeply into your sense of purpose. Additionally, apathy teaches us the concept of duty in carrying out our responsibilities with diligence and care, regardless of how mundane or tedious it may seem. This is because every piece of work has the potential to be a form of self-expression and an act of our identity. When we start to see our daily tasks in this light, apathy becomes less about not wanting to do the work and more about not wanting to regret not expressing our virtues through our actions. Finally, valuing your work involves recognizing and confronting the barriers that make us perceive our tasks as unworthy or boring. Stoicism equips us with the mindset to question these barriers. Are they truly obstacles, or are they challenges that we are called to overcome? By redefining the obstacles in our way, we can turn our work into opportunities for demonstrating courage, resilience, and temperance. To truly value your work is to embrace its role not just in the rhythm of your daily routine but in the broader tapestry of your ethical and moral framework. It's about considering each task as an opportunity to practice apathy, to act with purpose, live according to your principles, and find meaning in the mundane. This shift in perspective can powerfully counteract feelings of apathy as it connects each action to a deeper personal purpose worth pursuing. This idea revolves around a practical exchange, balancing periods of rest with productivity, not to indulge in laziness but to purposefully use it as motivation for accomplishing tasks. Stoicism, with its focus on discipline and moderation, offers a solid framework for understanding and implementing this exchange in a way that enhances both our productivity and our well-being. Stoics like Seneca and Marcus Aurelius often discuss the importance of structure and routine in one's daily life, suggesting that a disciplined approach to tasks can lead to greater mental clarity and personal satisfaction. They advocated for a life that balances action with reflection, which aligns well with the lazy work exchange. In this model, downtime isn't just about rest but also about reflecting on our actions, learning from them, and preparing ourselves mentally for the next challenges. By integrating periods of laziness or relaxation with work, we adhere to the Stoic ideal of balance. However, the key isn't to swing too far toward relentless work or complete inactivity but to find a comfortable balance that keeps us engaged and grounded. This approach doesn't just make us more productive, it also aligns with the Stoic practice of mindfulness, where every action is performed with full awareness and consideration of its purpose. Additionally, the lazy work exchange encourages us to view relaxation as a deserved reward rather than wasted time. This shift in perspective can significantly alter our mental response to work. When real relaxation is earned, it becomes part of the cycle of productivity rather than an interruption. This method reflects the Stoic principle of cause and effect, where each action, work, leads to a logical outcome, rest, and each rest period serves as a catalyst for future productivity. By implementing the lazy work exchange and setting clear, achievable goals for each work period, we create a series of small victories, each contributing to a sense of accomplishment and motivation. For example, after completing a 2-hour focused work session, a half-hour break to engage in a leisure activity not only refreshes the mind but also reinforces the value of the work completed. This approach is particularly effective in combating procrastination, a form of laziness often driven by fear or overwhelm. By breaking work into manageable chunks paired with rewarding breaks, tasks seem less daunting, and the mind is conditioned to engage rather than retreat. When viewed through a Stoic framework, the lazy work exchange is about cultivating a lifestyle that honors both our need for productivity and our need for rest. It's about recognizing that our energy and attention are limited resources that need to be managed wisely. With Stoicism guiding this approach, we can transform what initially seems like laziness into a deliberate, intelligent strategy that enhances our effectiveness and enriches our lives. In the journey to overcome laziness, measuring progress isn't just about observing changes but about understanding and appreciating the progress made. Stoicism provides a valuable perspective on this process, emphasizing the importance of mindfulness and objective self-assessment. The Stoic thinkers, particularly Epictetus, stressed the significance of tracking our internal growth and the improvements in our character as much as, if not more than, our external achievements. For Stoics, the real transformation occurs internally. It's about how authentically we can align our actions with our values and virtues. This internal alignment is crucial for achieving lasting fulfillment and living a life of purpose.